Now, you've had an illustrious career to date with many prestigious concerts, music releases, nominations for awards, including being voted Female Vocalist of the Year at the 2014 British Blues Award. That's an accolade. What are the highlights for you, though?
I think the highlights for me are, I've released two studio albums that I'm really, really, really proud of. My debut, which was made with my friend Mike Mayfield, who's an incredible producer and writer, and we co-wrote a lot of that together, and he produced it. I'm really proud of that. And then, but we made it on a total budget. It was very kind of, I was lucky that Mike was able to do a lot of stuff. And then, on the opposite end of that, I went to Nashville to make my second album and worked with all these incredible musicians. And that was for sure a highlight. I mean, that was an amazing experience just to be around those kind of players, around that scene, them how they kind of create records, but also I really came into my own. I think in that time as well, I really started to understand who I was as an artist and exactly what I wanted, and I had to really stand up for myself as well in lots of ways. And I worked with a great producer called Fred. Yeah, I really kind of came into my own, I think, at making that record. So the records for sure, and then other things like going to perform at the Ambassador of Conscience Awards, which was Amnesty International's kind of headline thing every year, and they award somebody who's contributed to kind of the worldwide human rights revolution and who's made major contributions to that. And that was Ai Weiwei and Joan Baez. And obviously I didn't meet Ai Weiwei because he was in China and under house arrest, but I had some amazing hugs with Joan Baez and sung with her at the end on the stage. And there was a whole horde of us, of like much more famous people than me. I was just kind of this little person. But yeah, I did. They asked me to do a kind of tribute to Joan during the ceremony, so I did that. Yeah, and that was just an amazing, amazing experience.
Following the gig on the 12th of April with the music mix, where could our listeners see you over the next few months?
Everything is on my website. So
let's talk about that then, because that's how people can find out more about you, listen to, and preferably buy your music. I've got a bit of a thing about this, that we encourage people to purchase music. So what is the website name? How do people get in touch? And is that where they're going to find out everything?
So it's joharman.com, easy peasy. And I've got all of my merch on there. So my CDs, my records, my vinyl. There's T-shirts, there's all sorts of like fancy box sets and, lovely kind of gift things. And there's all sorts. And there's EPs and stuff on there. There's all sorts. There's, because I've obviously got my 2 studio records, but I've released a lot more. Like there's one here. It's like, there's a live album here, which is when I was pregnant with the twins. It's called Three Hearts. And there's other EPs and stuff that we've made. So, yeah, there's loads on there.
Oh, fantastic. And will they be available to buy at your gig?
Yes, they will. I will take everything. Or my manager will take everything anyway. I'll take a bit as well. But yes, it should all be there, available.
Terrific. Well, their listeners, do bring along, if you come to the gig, bring along your wallets as well, because we need to support artists doing music like this, because it's fantastic. I got sent 3 tracks to play, which I'm very grateful for. I particularly like Trade Winds, incredible song.
Oh yeah, it was. Do you know what? My Mark sent me that, and he was like, "I think this will complete our soul trilogy," because I'd obviously recorded 2 other soul classics before that. One which was "Don't Give Up on Me." And then Someday We'll All Be Free by Donny Hathaway. And this was like coming out of not lockdown, but it was actually Don't Give Up on Me probably was coming out a bit of lockdown. I was pregnant with the boys, and so that would have been 2022. So we weren't far out, and so we made that, but then it was just kept in the vaults for years.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I decided to record Someday We'll All Be Free with a friend of mine called Mark Edwards, who's an amazing pianist and producer. So we had those 2, and then Mark said to me, "Hey, why don't we add in a 3rd one, and it can be a kind of soul trilogy?" And that was Trade Winds. And I'd never heard the song before, and I listened to it. I was like, oh, okay, because obviously Roberta Flack had done a version, and then Rod Stewart I listened to the Rod Stewart version first and was like,
Mm.
wow, this is unexpected. I didn't quite expect this kind of solo kind of soprano sax on it, and then all these kind of wailing backing vocals in a kind of quite kind of ethereal, almost medieval kind of way. It was like, wow, this is interesting.
Mm.
So I really enjoyed that. It was great. And then yeah, Trade Winds was a lot of fun for me because it kind of I enjoy songs that let me off the leash, backing vocals wise, and I enjoy kind of spending time building it up. It's a bit like building a fence or something, but a bit more exciting.
Well, you can certainly hear that in the version I listened to. It was fantastic, and I'm not just saying that; it is a great song.
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing song, and I enjoyed arranging everything around it and recording the vocals and all of that. It's a lot of fun for me, that kind of stuff.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to Colne Radio, Joe. Really appreciate it. Here's to a great gig and continued success in your future musical career.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to talk to you.